Have ARCA driver Becca Monopoli calling into the show. Becca, you raced at Daytona for the ARCA opener this year. I know it didn't end the way you wanted, but with being a Florida native, how was that experience?
Yeah, you're right. It didn't end the way we wanted, but it's a great experience. I mean, it's Daytona. It's what every driver wants to do. So I enjoyed the whole 18 laps that I got to be there, and before we got caught up in the wreck. But I mean, that's also part of the experience too. I guess you could say is besides racing at Daytona, you've been in all the been in a wreck there. And I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's part of the racing experience. And Daytona's just its own. It's got its own aura. It's just the mecca. Unless you're there, it's hard to explain.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
just awesome to be there. Yeah.
Cool. No, awesome. I appreciate you going over that. You just raced the ARCA East race from Pensacola at Five Flags on Saturday, along with the pro trucks on Friday. Finished fourth in the trucks and 14th in ARCA. How would you say the weekend went, and how can you use this moving forward for your season?
So that was my first time ever racing at Pensacola and Five Flags. And I wasn't so sure what I'd think about the track going into it, but I
Okay.
really enjoyed it and wished we lived a little closer to run there more. The truck handled really well. We don't run the same rule package as them, so we were a little behind. And we didn't want to mess up anybody's points during the ones that race there weekly.
Yep.
So I mean, I gave up a few spots for the people that run there weekly. I didn't want to mess them up, and we could have had a better finish. But then that really helped us going into Saturday with the ARCA race because it just gave me that little extra track time, getting to learn the line of where to run for the car, and then it took some of the guesswork out of Saturday. So it was just more so feeling what the car is going to do without learning what the track needs to do. So I was a little bit ahead of the game of what we would normally be. So that helped a lot. And the car just felt good on Saturday. We struggled a little in practice trying to find a good, happy setup where it wasn't too loose, too tight. We practiced on old tires. Then once we put stickers on, and we definitely picked up, and the car felt great. We qualified 12th out of 21 cars. We're really happy with that. And then the first half of the race, we did great. I think we stuck around between 11th and 13th position. We were in contention for the lucky dog for a couple of the cautions, but we'd miss it by like one spot. And then midway break, we put on a set of scuffs, and that just it didn't help us at all. It didn't have the traction we needed and the handling for the second half of the race. So we just kept the car clean, stayed out of the way, and finished in one piece. And that was really our goal. So finishing 14th out of 21 or 20 or 21 that started. I think there was someone that didn't start. I mean, we're really happy with it, and we know going into next year what to expect, and just more. It just gets more seat time in that car to help us in future races.
Gotcha. No, totally makes sense, especially with this being your first time at Pensacola. Sounds like the trucks gave you kind of a head start to the ARCA race on Saturday. Just like you said, kind of battling in the middle of the pack. Does this boost your confidence battling and finishing ahead of a full time ARCA East drivers?
It does, and not just who you finish in front of, it's just getting to actually finish the race. Obviously, with Daytona, as you mentioned, we didn't get to finish that one. We had another race last year we weren't able to finish. So it's being able to finish in one piece and clean. That's also a confidence booster as well, as not just about who you beat, but just that we were able to do it and compete and last the whole race. So that helps a lot. It gives the team confidence. It gives the owner confidence. It gives our sponsors, Orlando Health, confidence. So it's just a good thing all around.
Cool. Yeah, definitely sounds like you had a good experience at Five Flags. With being from Lakeland, Florida, a lot of great tracks throughout the state of Florida. Been living in St. Petersburg the last number of years. Been a frequent patron of the quarter mile of Showtime.
Yes.
What is your a couple of your favorite tracks that you grew up racing on?
Well, my favorite one was Orlando Speed World. They're not really racing now there. They're using it for drifting, but that one's probably my favorite in Florida.
Okay.
Pensacola might have just made it into the top three right now, though. I enjoyed that one. But we run Auburndale regularly, New Smyrna. We got Citrus coming up next month, and we're going to go up to Cordele in Georgia too next
Oh,
month. So
nice.
we run all over what we can with the trucks, and just it just keeps me in the seat for the ARCA car.
Gotcha. Yeah, that kind of leads into the next question. I don't know if it's too early to ask, but plans for ARCA for the rest of the season?
Oh yeah, well, so this year was an 8 race schedule. Our next race is Talladega next month, and then we go to Nashville, which I believe is the weekend right after. We have IRP, Toledo, Berlin, and Elko, I believe, are the rest of the races for us this year. So we have Orlando Health riding with us all this year, and I believe next year as well.
Okay, awesome. No, appreciate you going over that. Best of luck in Talladega. Really appreciate you hopping on the show, and hope to talk to you soon.
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.